Okay, I know many of you know what I'm going to pivot to because you're feeling it right now. You're feeling the heat, sweltering heat impacting much of the nation. We're talking about 80 million Americans under extreme heat alerts, including places across the Northeast. CBS News New York reporter Christina Fan is following the excessive heat from Clifton, New Jersey. I mean, how bad is it out there? Are you in front of a school? Because I'm wondering how the schools are dealing with it.
Yes, good morning, Anne-Marie. Basically, all this week, schools across New Jersey have had to adjust their schedules to deal with this oppressive weather. Clifton High School, which you see right behind us, is a perfect example. They had a high school graduation ceremony planned for 3 o'clock this afternoon. They have since pushed it back to 7 p.m., and a lot of students we spoke to are naturally delighted by this. They say that the commencement ceremony was scheduled in a stadium down the street, which naturally is an outdoor venue. So they were literally sweating at the idea of having to sit underneath the bright summer sun for hours for their commencement. So they're so relieved that this was pushed back. A number of other districts in New Jersey, too, have made changes. We know Old Bridge, Perth Amboy, further down south in the state, they have called for early dismissals or half days just to make sure staff, teachers, and kids can get home safely just out of an abundance of caution.
So tell us, Christina, about the impact of this extreme heat across just the Northeast. We know what it is doing to the tri-state area, but this is affecting people all the way up to Maine.
Yes, absolutely. And I know Anne-Marie asked me earlier, how is it feeling out here? There is still a lot of the day to go. When I looked at the thermostat earlier, it said it was 79 degrees. We are standing under the shade, and yet it still feels so much hotter. It's just the combination of the heat and humidity. And as you guys said, there are alerts and advisories all across our region. The Northeast issued by the National Weather Service. They include alerts for excessive heat, of course, but also for air quality. And it's really important to keep these advisories in mind because we know, again, that heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the United States.
So then, thinking of that, some of us do not have the option to be sitting in sort of an air-conditioned studio like we are. Some people have to work outside. Some people just don't have access to air conditioning. What's being done to prevent, some dangerous situations from occurring because of this heat?
Yes, absolutely. So we know as a result of all these advisories, a lot of towns and cities across the area, they have cooling centers open, and it should be much easier to get to one today compared to yesterday. Yesterday, of course, was Juneteenth. In New York City alone, about 40 cooling centers were shut down as a result. They should be back open today. And I also want to touch briefly on transit because, it's hot standing above ground, but conditions are often even worse below ground. And the MTA, the infrastructure, it is aging. It is not the best. The ventilation can be quite poor. The MTA says that they have placed essential personnel at various critical and strategic points across the system. They also say that they are conducting more inspections. They are reviewing equipment before it heads out. And they basically are saying once you're able to make it onto a bus or a train, things should be good. Air conditioning is equipped on all of these public transportation utilities. And once you make it on, 99%, they said, of buses and trains should have working AC today.
That's a relief. Christina, thank you.